Happy
Greetings,
Friday, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Kevin Smith. That's right, Fanboys is back for another week. I am your introductioner, not your host, because your host is right there, neighbor to the north. This is his first live, so give it up for neighbor to the north.
Awesome. Thanks, Travis. This is my first live stream on here. Let's hope it all goes well. There is a really bad country karaoke party going on downstairs. So, yeah, let's hope you guys don't hear any of it. I can hear it out of the corner of my ear. But we're not here to talk about. We're not here to talk about bad country karaoke. We're here to talk about what? We're here to talk about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That was the first one I've seen in theaters, so this is a special one for me. I'd seen the other ones on, sitting around smoking greens and watching VHS and stuff like that. This is the first one I actually paid money to go see in theaters. So yeah, let's all introduce ourselves here. I'm Neighbor to the North. You're obviously on my channel, and we're going to this gentleman over here.
I am TM. I introduced the show. This would be actually the first Kevin Smith movie I watched, and I think I was like 12 or 13 years old when I first watched it. It was when digital cable was first coming out, and it was on the Movie Network channel, and I remember watching that at the same time Dude, Where's My Car was out and stuff. So I didn't get all of the small references that they have in this movie from previous movies onward, but it was fun going back and watching those many years later. But let's head on over to the guy that was live earlier.
Snoogans, bitches. So yeah, I'd already seen the movies. I'd seen Clerks and Mallrats and Chasing Amy and all that, but this was the first one that I saw in theaters. I'm in the same boat as Neighbor to the North here. I seen it in theaters. We heard it was coming out, and we were just going, and we must have smelled really, really good when we went into that theater. It was, the whole theater smelled like it. It was great because
everyone seemed to share the same cologne that day.
Yeah.
It's funny going from Neighbor to the North, then to me, then to you, because it's just I went to see it in theaters. It smelled like marijuana. Yeah, I was 11 or 12. It's I was I went to see it in theaters. And I smelled like marijuana. Make me feel young, guys. Make me feel young.
It was and everybody at the school I went to go see it. It was incredible. Everybody was talking about it the next Monday at school. It was great.
Yeah. Hi, I'm JD, aka Raging Cajun Comics. I saw this at the theater also, but I did see Chasing Amy, and Mallrats was my first one that I did see at the theater. So I'm a little bit older than everybody here, but this one just had me going and laughing, and everybody, all of us, did get that smell when we went to the theaters, which was funny. It's one in one, dude. When you watch a Kevin Smith movie, you always have to smell that greenery there, But can't wait to discuss it, especially with our special guest. And who knows, maybe he'll join us for another one. We have Rosko. What's up?
Well, what's up, everybody? I'm Rosko, if you don't know me. My channel's Geek Out with Rosko. I joined these guys because this is one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. I saw it in theaters. Yeah. Maybe there was a smell in the air. But no, it was an awesome movie. It was, and honestly, I fell in love with Will Ferrell after that movie.
Oh, kicked off. Can we kick him off right now?
Okay, see you guys. But no, that movie was I absolutely loved it. Kevin Smith was that's why I wanted to be on. I was like, hey, I'll hop on if you guys want to talk about it. So
aren't you an actual Jersey guy, right?
I actually am.
So
yep.
Wow, we have an insider here into the life of how do you call it, a Jerseyite, a New Jerseyer?
A New Jerseyan.
New Jersey.
New Jerseyan.
Jersey.
Okay.
I just always call them Jersey boys.
So it's like I'm like I'm Canadian, and I'm like, yeah, I know what it is.
We just say we're from Jersey. That's about it. No, yeah, the Jersey boys, man. That's my dude, Kevin Smith, though, bro. I've been to that shop, man. I went to not the new one, but the old one. So I've been to the Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash.
You should definitely go to the new one.
Yeah, it's in Red Bank. Yeah, so my family doesn't live far from there, so I'll probably check out the new one next time I go there.
Nice.
But again, I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you so much. I love geeking out. So let's do this.
Awesome. So we have how many people? We have 5 people in the chat. I don't know how to highlight the comments, so I'm just going to go read them off. We have a comic bookworm in here. We have John Stout. We have a guy named Tylox the Mighty. I don't know who the fuck that is. We have TM Nerdy and actual Dracula is in here.
Drac, what up?
Drac, what's up?
Some,
Bookworm,
some good peeps in here. All right, let's get started. TM, you wanna throw the hammer there, lead the way.
Lead the way. All right. So, like, overall, this movie, what did we all think of this movie? I don't know. I didn't think I was going to be leading it, but all right. So I'm not prepared for this at all.
Okay.
All right. So like, usually how we do it is like the style and structure of the film. Like, what did we think about it? Neighbor to the North.
All right. It's definitely you see that whole, like, the production levels there from it's taking, we kind of actually did, we fucked up a little bit. We went Jersey Girl, and then we went to Jay and Silent Bob. This actually came out before Jersey Girl, so we kind of screwed up. But you can see the progression from Dogma up to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. The production quality's there. You can see he definitely brought his A game with the A-listers in this. The cameos in this movie are just, there's so many of them. And I mean, I watched it again. I watched it yesterday, and it's probably been about 6 years or five or so years maybe since I've watched it. You know, and I picked up on even more cameos that I didn't even notice the first time. And so it just, I always knew that there's a ton coming into it, but now I watched it with a fine-tooth comb, just picking out the people that were there. Like, I had no idea. I didn't notice Wes Craven at first, so that was a new one for me. And I was like, and I completely forgot that Carrie Fisher, our Princess Leia, makes an appearance, and as brief as it is, but yeah, the production quality is definitely, it just picks up where Dogma left off, and especially with getting all those actors in there. So that's my take on that. We also have Black Crown Comics in the house here too, so another Canadian, and we'll kick it over to another Canadian, Mr. TM.
I absolutely love this movie, and like I said, when I first watched this movie, this is the very first Kevin Smith movie I watched. So all like the references to Clerks and Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Dogma were like, didn't exist. Even Good Will Hunting. Like, I didn't watch that movie prior to this, and there was like stabs at that in this movie, like kind of like hints at that movie. But overall, like, watching this as a kid, probably shouldn't have been, but like I like the weird kind of like, it was definitely felt like a late 90s movie, even though it was like early 2000s, 2001. I thought it was just great, and I think this is what like launched my way into loving monkeys and always wanting a monkey companion, just to be like, yeah, let's do this, buddy.
You mean ape?
Ape. Sorry.
Yep, learning already. Look at us.
I then watching this years later, like you said, like going through it and being like, oh, that's where that came from. Okay, now I understand that reference and that. Like, after watching all of those movies, And it was really cool, like taking these characters and that, and it made more sense to me as an adult, like after watching those movies, like, okay, this is where the comic was like based on, was in Chasing Amy. Like it was born there. They took that idea, brought it to this, and like revolved the movie around Jay and Silent Bob, who were just background characters in these movies going forth, and giving them the light. And I was like, this is actually fantastic. Like the movie that I loved as a kid, I love more as an adult now that I know all these different references and like who these characters were prior to this. And it's like, yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now. Let's head on over to Tylox.
I absolutely loved this movie. It was so great. I mean, it was me and my friends. This is like the kind of stuff that we liked. It's, you know, stoner and fart jokes, and just it was incredible. Like you had the whole theater cracking up, and like, you know, you were like cutting jokes with people you didn't even know. It was like everybody was immediately friends and stuff like that. And I loved how like they would take jabs at each other and stuff like that, like at their real life selves in this movie. It blurred so many lines. They broke the fourth wall the whole movie, and I absolutely loved it. It was oh man, it was just so great. Yeah, that's all I know to say is it's incredible. Will Ferrell, I mean, it's so awesome.
My takes on it, total comedy, all from the beginning to the end, where all the cameos just made you jump up and enjoy it. I think this is straight Kevin Smith doing it for his fans and just making a whole hardcore comedy that you would attach all his movies in one. I couldn't get enough of it. I watched it again the other day, and I was laughing from like start to finish. And just all the cameos, which I enjoyed, since we spoiled Will Ferrell. Thanks. Not kidding. He made the movie as well for me. Made me laugh even more. And just like Rosko, I started following Will Ferrell even more because of this movie. I can't wait to see what everybody's going to talk about right now. So let's pass it on to Rosko.
Well, what can I say that everyone hasn't said? But yeah, to be honest with you, the cameos are phenomenal. I mean, it's great. Like, you know, cameos in movies are great, but you know, when Kevin Smith just has one after another, and then like, you know, it's so great. But I'm still looking for my boo boo kitty fuck out there, Sheena. That's for damn sure. But yeah. You know, that's a ride or die right there.
Yeah.
But I love I mean, even the characters that like Stifler's character is totally opposite from what he is, and you know, so I mean these characters that they had play in this movie as well were just, I think, out of their realm that they're even used to being, which I think is awesome. And I like Raiden said, my man, he said, laughed through almost the whole thing. Oh yeah, I mean, I laughed through that whole movie. I mean, who doesn't love a good stoner film? You know, two stoners are on an adventure, you know, and then just the little side stuff that's in it as well, like the little, like, you know, different stuff that they do that just makes you go, man, I wish I could do that. You know what I mean? So just a great movie from start to finish. And like I said, man, Will Ferrell, that's my dude now. Like, that's one of my favorites. And to see like where he was in with that, you know, I just got to say, a great movie.
And the funny thing is, you guys keep mentioning Will Ferrell as like, oh, this is a special cameo. Like, he came in. This was actually like one of his bigger roles.
Yep.
And that, like, back then, because like Old School and then Elf later on didn't come like until like, I think Old School, I looked it up, it was 2003. And then prior to that, like, it was Austin Powers, but it was that guy who like couldn't like, you'd ask him a question 3 times and he'd have to answer.
Yeah, that's
that would have been like
Anchorman
or whatever too.
That was later on.
That was later,
yeah. Like
that was later on.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so like,
this is definitely one of Will Ferrell's first main roles.
Yeah, like I mean, without this movie, we wouldn't probably have Talladega Nights or Step Brothers or any of that stuff if it wasn't
Don't
for
say
this
that.
movie.
Damn
Don't
you,
ever say-
Kevin Smith. Why'd you have to launch a career like that?
Well,
I
and,
used to
and
have
you
a lot
think
of
about it,
respect.
who's another career that he did launch that went on, and he went on to do a lot of movies, and he played 2 roles in this movie. Well, no, was it? Yeah, he played two roles. He played Brody and Banky.
Yeah, Banky. Yeah.
Jason Lee was like launched from Kevin Smith as well.
Mhm.
But like,
And
yeah.
arguably, you could say Ben Affleck too. I mean, he had some minor role. I mean, he played O'Bannon in Dazed and Confused, but that was his first work. He didn't really get the shine until Kevin Smith kind of brought him on as well, right? So you could arguably say Ben Affleck as well.
I was about to say, I think,
Getting some of his,
yeah, I think this was like the first person that got, because did he do Good Will Hunting? No, he did these movies before he did Good Will Hunting. Or yeah, I think. Mallrats?
Yeah, well, not this movie, but
Not this movie. Good Will Hunting came before this.
I was about to say, yeah, like in Mallrats.
But Mallrats,
Yeah,
for sure.
Mallrats.
So that was like, yeah, this launched pretty much his thing too, of getting him in the door as far as acting
yeah,
goes.
Good Will Hunting came before Dogma.
Mhm.
Yeah. Totally. Should
But
we
yeah.
get into the beginning, how it started? And talk
Yeah.
about how, dude, at the beginning, it just started with just straight comedy. So what are your thoughts, Neighbor to the North, how it just started right at the freaking, when they're little kids?
Oh yeah, I mean, and the cool thing was that baby Kevin Smith. Hold on, I just want to say shout out to a really good guy in here, Mike Cooper. He is actually one of my former colleagues, good friend. He's from Nova Scotia. He's an amazing hip hop artist. Just an all around good guy. Awesome. Thanks for coming, Mike, and supporting. But like I was saying, the baby Kevin Smith is actually his daughter, and I thought that was really cool. And like, I mean, the highlight for me for that was Jay's mom. I mean, Jay's mom is just like, oh my god, I love it. She's exactly what I expected. Jay's mom.
Yeah, that guy that guy's just like, who's watching these babies? That's cousin Johnny. That's Kevin Smith's cousin.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just a random, let's throw that out randomly. But I love the beginning of it. It showed us like how they got their beginning, because like I said at the beginning, it showed these characters in the background, showed them standing in front of the quick stop, and now it shows how long they have been and where they got their influence from. And it's just great. And yeah, and then we get another Rick Darris appearance. He's playing the cop, and which always gave me that idea. After watching this movie, I'm like, rolling papers between your ass cheeks so you wouldn't get a shit stain on your underwear. So that's so every day since I've been doing that. So thank you, Kevin Smith.
What brand do you have in there right now? Are you a zigzag guy, a Rizla guy,
Risley.
a raw dude? What
Risley,
do we got
man.
rocking in?
Yeah, no, you can't do that raw shit. You gotta go
Ultra
Risley.
Thins or
I was about to say, I'm a JOB guy.
Yeah.
JOB's got like really soft touch to it. It's like Charmin, baby.
But yeah, Tylox, what did you think of the beginning?
Oh man, like it introduced us to one of the greatest songs ever invented. Oh my god. Like, I think the next week at school, so many people got wrote up for singing the damn song. Like, I mean, you couldn't not do it, and it got so many people in trouble. And when you say Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Sheena did it in the chat. The first thing is 15 bucks, little man.
Well, you think about it too. Even before that, how many F-bombs were dropped prior to that? Because you had the mob just like, you fucking square, like keep on trucking, and this is like within the first 15 minutes of the movie. How many
Yeah.
F-bombs were dropped?
Motherfucker, motherfucker,
Yeah.
motherfucker, noise,
Shout out
noise.
to-
Yo.
Shout out to Sheena. Since Sheena mentioned it in the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and show. I have something to show that I actually brought that's related to this movie. So, it introduced me to a band that I thought was a made-up band, and I had to, of course, get a copy of Ice Cream Castles by the motherfucking Time. Jungle Love, baby. OEO. Had to get this album, and dude, this album is phenomenal. I didn't even know. I thought it was just a made-up band in a Prince movie, and then come to find out, no, they've been doing songs, and Prince wrote all their music and stuff like that. So it's really, really, really good. It's great, and oh my God, Randall just being like, motherfucking Time sucked, and I was just like, no, that's all Prince, baby.
So I guess it's my turn. Yeah, from the beginning, it was hilarious. Just seeing the mom putting them right next to Silent Bob, and then the guy coming. He's all, so who's watching the kids? He's all, oh, the fat one's watching the small one.
Yeah. I mean,
That was freaking hilarious. And then when she's all great parenting, and he walks away, and she's like, "Do you understand that little fuck? The way he talked to me, fuck." And right when you hear freaking Jay just go fuck, and then go straight to the song.
oh,
You
so
got me
good.
pumped.
Yep.
Yes, that was a perfect intro. I loved it. I was all into it, and of course the motherfucking time. When he jumps into this rap and he gets into that, and you know how much I love Prince and the time, so I was like, hell yeah, this is like the perfect movie. Yes, woo!
It's amazing how that has
But like
become
right there, just set the
name.
movie off perfect. I was all into it, and dude, perfect start for me. And we're gonna get to the next part, but I loved it. Rosko, how'd you think of the beginning?
Phenomenal, man. The transition from them as kids to being adults, and like how you said, how the song goes in. I mean, like it was perfect. And I love how when they start, they show them as like little babies, like kids, and it's like, when I saw, I was like, no way, like, come on,
Yeah.
this is great.
And we all forgot the origin of the hat, right? It's like
yeah.
keep sun out your eyes.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. Just great. And then like Jay's little songs, man. All of his songs are just great. They're fun. But like how Tylock says, you definitely got in trouble. It doesn't matter. Any of his songs he could get in trouble with. So, but yeah, at the beginning of it just definitely started off with a
and like you
firework.
guys said, you guys were all older. Like I was, I don't know, 12, 13 maybe, watching this, and me running around, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, so great.
But yeah, I definitely think it started with a firework. Like that was
man.
just that was
When they
like
started talking about the part where friggin' what was it, the wedding between Dante and Randall. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I love how they incorporated that in. Like they were like, all of a sudden, it's just like walks in, somebody comes in there. It's just like, it's like, are you even supposed to be here today? Don't get me even started, man.
Yeah.
Like that was great. It's like, yeah, you're the butch and you're the bitch. It's like, I'm the bitch. It's like, yeah, that's the way I would see it too.
Yeah, Randall's just like, well, I mean, if we were gay, that's the way it would go. And I was just like, oh, great, like he's thought about this before.
great.
They just call the cops on them.
And he gets a restraining order on them, right?
Yeah.
But like it launches us into like all of a sudden we see that the next person that we didn't know, like I said, as a kid, I didn't know that these characters existed outside of like this world that I was watching this movie in. So
But
we
you
launched
honestly
into
don't have to. I don't think. Like,
No,
you're just coming in
don't.
as a newbie. Then those.
you can watch
see-
that and then go back and like,
Hilarious.
okay, that's where these references came from. I'm a prime example, but like coming into this again, we go on to in the next scene and we get another person from a previous movie, from Mallrats. We get Brody himself in running his own shop and the symbol is just like the comic book men's symbol, Jane Silent Bob's Secret Stash, except it's Brody's Secret Stash.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that exact sign. They have that in the shop. In,
The Brody one?
They actually have the actual Brody sign. It's huge, man.
I
couldn't
want
believe it. But yeah, they actually have that, and they have the movie sign. I mean, they have like all the like different signs in the Jane Silent Bob's Secret Stash comic shop, because it's kind of like a small Kevin Smith like museum. You know, to be honest with you, it's like all of his movies. But yeah, that that sign is there. I'll send you a picture of it.
Oh yeah, man. And if you go to the new shop, definitely send pictures. But like this next scene, it brings us back to an old character and like what he's up to now, but it also sets the whole movie, like what the movie's strictly about, why they're striking back, what they're striking back for, why are they going to Hollywood, and we get little references like, "This is my pulse." Yeah, but yeah, let's get into that. Nip in the North. Let's get into this scene.
This scene. I mean, yeah, like you said, it reintroduces characters and it sets the tone right there. You get the whole premise of the movie really right in the first 15 minutes of the movie, 15, 20 minutes of the movie, you understand what's going on, and we don't fully know exactly why they're gonna why they're gonna go until later when he meets up with Holden, which is a totally different scene and amazing with the internet bashing and finding out about the internet.
Oh God,
incredible. But you know, he explains that, you know, that you guys got to go. There's a movie made of your likeness, and you know they gotta go find Holden and see what the fuck's up. So
I really loved how like he was like, we got to stop this fucking movie from getting made. And he was like, yeah, but then you get no check. Like, you can't stop the movie from getting made and then still want your check. You have to like let the movie be made and then you get the check. Like, it's great how he like broke it down for him, because they were just like, internet movie? Like, oh man, when he said that they were doing it for the Miramax, it's a Miramax film, and he was like, I thought they did classy pictures like Piano Man and The Crying Game and shit. It's great.
It all went downhill whenever they produced She's All That.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Kevin doesn't like that movie at all.
Yeah. And when he said, what was it? He was like, who are they getting to play us? And he was like, I mean, it's Miramax, so it's probably like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Like, I love him referencing himself.
You just jumped a total scene. We're on the Holden scene. We're talking about Brody's scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You guys. Oops. But like, let's jump to that scene there, because we all know that scene was just like the whole Brody scene was just like to set up the whole thing, saying the Blunt Man and Chronic comics were being made into a movie ever since like X-Men, because the X-Men at the time were like hot shit back then. Around when did that come out? 2000, 1999, 2000? 2000.
2000.
Yes.
I think even Fantastic Four came out before that, didn't it? It was like 98 when Fantastic Four, I think.
No, Fantastic Four came out after the X-Men.
Was it after X-Men? Okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, because I was like, I thought the Fantastic Four came out first.
We don't talk about the Fantastic Four.
We don't talk about those movies here.
What Fantastic Four movie?
But Blunt Man and Chronic, which I really want a Blunt Man and Chronic comic book. Just saying. I don't know if they're even in existence, but like, yeah, we get that.
There's the only press one, yeah.
I need to get my hands on them then. But yeah, since we're over to the topic, what did you guys think of that scene of them in Brody's comic shop?
I totally loved it because I think I'm the oldest one. I was able to see a Wizard magazine, and I was like, oh shoot, that's what I freaking look at from my comics, and I get to see all that crap. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shoot, that's the Wizard. Yeah. And people who are younger don't know what that is unless they see it from like the McFarlane cover. That's the only thing they know about it. So I totally love that. And then referencing Mallrats, the little parts from the Mallrat movie, it clicked. I was like, damn, he's connecting it together. I loved it. And just wanting his motherfucking movie check, you gotta love that shit, because they're getting paid for their likeness, and they're all, well, if they go into the other part where he meets Ben Affleck, I just love that one part. Before I forget, is they had a Chasing Amy song going into meeting him, if you caught that. But I'm gonna leave it there. But I loved it, especially seeing comics, because we're all comic freaks. We love comics. And just walk by. I just wanted him to slap somebody and say, "Hey, put a bag and board behind that." But he was the owner. So that would have been good, because that would have got me into the Mallrats part too. Rosko, what'd you think?
Well, how you said. Hey, Mike, appreciate you coming out, bro. Have a good one. Man.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey.
Right, Mike.
Yeah, being a comic book fan, seeing like a comic book shop in a movie, is great. You love it. But so I'm surprised no one said it, but I think someone touched on it earlier. Pause. Was that when it was like I think Tylox had said breaking the fourth wall. When they're with Jason Lee, and when they I forgot what they say, but they said something like, "Who the hell's gonna watch this movie?" And then they all just look at the camp.
That was also Ben Affleck's scene.
Yeah, that was also Ben Affleck. So yeah,
that was in the shop too in the beginning when they see Brody.
I don't think so.
I know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he says something like, "Who the hell is going to want to pay to?" I know he says it too, but I can't remember the line, but I know that they all look at the camera with Jason Lee. I know that, but I love when they do that. That's so great. But they do that a few times in the movie. They stare at the camera. They give that look like The Office, like the Jim Halpert look, like.
Well, a lot of films are doing that back in that era of time too, where they break the fourth wall. They always did that kind of like. They stole it back around that time. I know a lot of movies were doing it at that time, but I remember the last scene in this scene was just like, all right, Silent Bob, we're going to Hollywood. Cue the music. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love that ending and that. And yeah, so cue the music.
It's so great. It's like an inside friend joke thing that everybody else would have been watching the movie and been like, "What the hell are they doing?" And and then they're just the only ones who get it. Like, it's so great.
But now we're on to the scene. I don't think we're going to go scene by scene, but we're definitely touching on a lot of the scenes that we really enjoy. And this next scene, of course, we all enjoy because we can't stop talking about it. The whole Holden scene.
Yeah.
And the internet, man. This scene, they do break the fourth wall in this scene. It's just like, who would watch this movie? And they have that whole thing. But like, this is where people they get introduced to the internet, which I don't think I even had the internet. I didn't have a computer at all. So this is my first introduction to the internet. No, we got introduced to it in school. But I don't know. Neighbor of the North, let's kick it off to you, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we get introduced to another or reintroduced to another character. We get Holden, and he's showing Jay and Silent Bob the internet on the movie Poop Shoot. It's just such a great, and I mean, all of us are old enough to remember those. Those, like, we didn't have internet, like websites weren't like we have now, right? They were just literally the one splash page, and it was more like a blog, and you just go down and you just scroll down. It was just like nonstop, just like shitting on this Blunt Man and Chronic movie, and it hasn't even come out yet, but it's just got the worst reviews possible, right? Like, who the fuck would go and watch this? And I wish I could highlight some of the things. I'm not as YouTube savvy as you guys, so I didn't bring any we'll have to rely on our memories for the reviews.
The first one was like Magnolia fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm assuming is referencing Steel Magnolia, Tom Cruise.
No, it's
No,
Mike
you mean
Magnolia.
Okay.
Oh, Mike McNoll? What?
It's reference to Mike Magnolia. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. That's pretty dope.
But I mean, this is obviously one of the best scenes, and it's right in the start of the movie. I mean, this whole movie just has like scene after scene of just incredibleness. But
Oh yeah.
this one's just is so good to kick off the movie. Like I was like peeing myself, again rewatching this after so many years. Just all the comments, and then now they get new purpose to their mission, right? Like this isn't just to go get the check, right? Now it's like let's stop these fucks on the internet from badmouthing us, right? It's like the check's worthless now. We just gotta stop these kids on the internet.
Yeah, we're talking shit.
What did he say? He was like, "What if we run into this chick and she was like, oh my god, I want to suck you dudes off so bad," and then we tell them who we are, and then they're like, "Oh, I heard on the internet, I'm gonna go blow these other two guys," and then like Ben Affleck is just like, how are you getting, like, you're way over here. But
and then you got Silent Bob just going, pointing at him, like,
dude, his facial expressions are so great when Ben's talking about, like, I know this sad fuck. He's just like, when is it gonna be my time? And he's just like, and then he looks at Jay and he's like,
yes.
Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
yeah, he's just talking out of that.
I love it. It's just like he gets right into it, and he goes on and saying, it's like what? When is there time? God, when is there, like? I love the devotion of Ben Affleck in this scene. He gets right into it, and then, like Sheena said in the comments, this is probably one of my favorite scenes, like, in the movie. It's just like, they're not talking about you. They're talking about fictional characters.
Yeah. Characters. Oh my god, it's so good.
I absolutely loved it. It's just like, and then we get another one of those scenes. It's like, come on, Silent Bob, we're going to We're gonna go Hollywood. It's like, we're gonna go find these bitches.
Yeah.
Don't they go to the movies?
When they were talking about how many days, he's all, when does this movie get started? Saturday. What's today? Tuesday. So we have 10 days to stop it?
Yeah. It was like 8 days. Well, 3 by my count, but close.
Yeah, close. But Ben Affleck carried this. I loved it. Also, where they were talking about Phantoms was like a bad motherfucker, and they give each other a high five.
Oh, yes.
You can't forget that part. Yeah, so it gave him a little.
Oh yeah.
Phantom
extra there.
And I get a whole. I keep forgetting that it was Ben Affleck that said it first.
Yeah.
And like even Ben Affleck to this day says, like, even in the documentary Clerk that just recently came out in 2021, Ben Affleck said in that, it's just like when Jason Mewes yelled out, "You were the bomb in Phantoms." So I'm thinking that scene where we got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck doing like Good Will Hunting 2, and Jay yells that out at that scene. I wonder if that scene was like filmed first. And that's why, like, everybody thinks like that was like that, because everybody in the cast thinks it was that day that Jay said it first. But if you look at it, Holden said it first.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck said it first in that scene. He's just like, they're probably gonna get like some, like Tylock says, like, we're probably gonna get somebody like Matt Damon or Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And it's like, but Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Yeah.
It's like, Ben Affleck's the motherfucker.
Yeah, you mean that fucking movie with Mort from Orc? Like, I mean, oh god.
But yeah, that was my 2 cents I wanted to throw on that part. But Ben Affleck killed this part right here. on this whole scene, especially making fun of Silent Bob, Kevin Smith, about how he wanted to just come out. Oh, dude, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Roscoe, what do you got on this? I got more on the other stuff.
Okay, so I mean, I honestly, I'm not the biggest Ben Affleck fan. I know
Get
this
him the
may
fuck
hurt
out of
some-
here.
I mean,
It's like,
Affleck is
you
cool.
might
Affleck
hurt some
is
people.
good.
Get him the fuck out of here.
I know, right? I feel bad, but it's not like I hate the guy. I mean, he's it's certain things, but in this scene was awesome. Like in this movie, I was like, oh, he's but yeah, that when I love when he made fun of Silent Bob, though. Oh my gosh, like I from a guy who makes a bunch of weird faces a lot, I absolutely love Silent Bob's just character, and like if you watch him throughout the whole movie, his reactions and his eyes speak so like just vivid of like either fear or like pleasure, you know what I mean? It's crazy, so but when he's trash talking him and his facial expressions, I just crack up. So yeah, it's just like I said, Ben Affleck is not my favorite, but in this scene, excellent, loved it. So
do we all think that the acting from both Jay and Kevin has gotten better into this, like coming from Dogma into this? You can really see that Jay is really starting to, become the actor that we knew was there. Like if you look, back from like Clerks to where he barely could even shoot a scene. He had to shoot a scene by himself. Now he's just, the jokes are just they're almost like they're free flowing. And like Rosko was saying, the facial expressions, Kevin Smith doesn't even need to speak,
Right.
to be able to carry this role, right?
Comfortable. Like,
even though like the backstory to this is like Jason was drunk a lot, like a lot of the times, like he almost got in a fist fight with Scott Mosier, because like he was like, okay, you're done for the day and stuff, so he went and got drunk, and then they got called back, and he's like, I'm not fucking coming back. Like it's all in that podcast, like Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. Definitely listen to. Go back and listen to it. It's great. But like he was like the delivery on his like acting chops in this movie was fantastic. Like he had great dialogue. Like to his dialogue, like you can have like great scenes written out for you, but to perform them is a whole different scene. And he was performing them A1, dropping the lines perfectly. Even came up with like even his singing chops in this movie and his rapping chops was fantastic.
I don't think we're gonna go like scene by scene, but do you want to get into like our favorite scenes, because we kind of set up the movie now, right? We know what the premise is. We know we're going to Hollywood to stop some little fuckers on the internet, and they want to destroy the movie, right? I think we can probably get through with like either like one or two scenes from each of us now, like highlighting pretty much like the rest of the movie at this point. So, I mean, I'll go last if Travis wants to start it off.
You know what? Let's start it off with, since he's always the last to get to, and he is our guest. Let's kick it off with Rosko.
All right.
Well, I was gonna say the next scene, they go to movies, right? And then they go to the computer, and they're printing off all the names and the people's addresses and stuff, right? Isn't that the next scene? It's like, and then
it's a hitchhiker. The next scene is hitchhiking.
Oh, hitchhiker. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
he leaves a comment on the thing, and he was like, "All you motherfuckers are gonna pay," or whatever. His little tirade thing has become legendary.
Well, okay, so when they get to movies, I love movies. First off, movies is classic, but when what's her name, Alba, and the rest of the crew, they come in, and Jay's watching them, dude. It's so funny because once it goes back to him, he's like, yeah, he's like doing this weird stuff, right? And Jay's like, hey man, hey, or Silent Bob's like, hey, wake up, man, and he's like, oh yeah. Yo, I die at that because I can just there's nothing going on except for him watching them, and he's like, it's like touching himself. He's like, man, you know,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden
world.
it zooms out and he's got this huge erection. And then Silent Bob puts a cup on his freaking. Does he put a cup on the erection?
Yeah. And then the chick comes up and it's like, "Oh my god, do you get free refills on that?"
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
God.
Yes. That's a great scene. The monkey's the ape is hilarious. In the little like diner and stuff like that. There's so many good parts. I don't want to cut to the end though, because I like the whole Star Wars aspect of it too. Like I love that whole cock knocker.
We can talk about the final scenes as a group. So.
Okay, all right. Well, then I won't talk about cock knocker. But man, I don't know. There's so many good things happening in this movie. Okay, so I'm gonna shout out a guy that I really like. He plays a lot of like smaller roles, but he was on the Drew Carey show as Oswald.
Yeah,
he's the security guard.
Yeah.
And he's funny in a lot of stuff. But he's so ridiculous. How about the whole jerking off or the blowjob thing? Like I was like, come on, Oh gosh, but
unpopular belief, not everybody in Hollywood is gay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I like him, man. He's funny in a lot of stuff. I don't think he gets enough recognition. This movie's just phenomenal. I do love. All right, one more part. I love when Silent Bob freaks out and actually speaks. When the ape goes away in the car and they're on top and they're like, he's like, it says zoo. Yeah. He's trying to tell him and he's like, I don't know what you're saying. Just talk to me. Just talk to me, And then he just wigs out, that scene, I lost it. I did not expect that to happen. I really thought that he was going to be but he went off and I went nuts. And then one last part, Tracy Morgan.
Oh my God.
Tracy Morgan, when he says, man, I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid. But I like you. Me and my friends say that almost all the time. I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid. But I like you.
Crack.
I love how he's just peddling. He's peddling crack outside.
Crack. You want some crack?
Oh God, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. You go ahead, JD. Up, you next to you, bro. Go ahead.
Dude, you hit some great ones, Roscoe. I freaking loved all of those, especially the crack part. You want some crack? That one was funny. But I do enjoy the part where the scene we were could have said the following one, where we see the two late great people in this the movie industry, which was Princess Leia and Harlan, where they were talking about he's holding the sign and he's hitchhiking and he's
the rules of the road
for a ride, and he's like, so Jay goes, so what if you don't give up with the head? He's like, well, you do. Oh, dude, I was rolling on it. He's like, well, I ain't over here. We ain't gay over here. He's all gay. It's all the same. So that's part I was rolling.
Side of it.
It's the rules of the road.
Yes.
It's just but what if you don't make with the head? Don't they just kick your ass out? Sure. If you don't make with the head.
Oh, God.
But we
I'll take a shot in the mouth to get 200 miles down the road.
Yeah, dude, that part's hilarious. But I also like right after when they're hitchhiking and they get, Princess Leia, and she's hitting all the parts where he's like, oh, and she's dressed as a nun. So if nobody's watched it, and he's like, dude, like they're looking at each other. Really, she wants, some head, or going down on a girl, but he's like, oh, I guess you have to, and he goes down and she just goes crazy and throws him out. So that part right there, I think was one of my favorite parts.
I know it doesn't. It's not the same. It's not the same character. Obviously, they never used Carrie Fisher in Dogma.
No.
But do you think it's kind of a nod to the nun who Matt Damon at the beginning of Dogma is trying to convince to leave the church?
Maybe.
I don't know because like she's been in Kevin Smith movies afterwards as well. She's actually in that movie, that documentary Clerk. That was
Okay.
Yeah, he had a crush on her. That he really wanted her on the show, on his movies, like straight out. This is the girl I had a crush on when I saw Star Wars.
Well, and if you look at it like you do have, spoiler, Mark Hamill's in this as well. So you got Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and then there's another group of people from a certain movie that all ended up in this movie as well. Like you do have like Wes Craven shows up, and then you have Courtney Cox as well that makes a scene, and then you also have Jamie Kennedy who's also in Scream as well. So you got like three of them. So, and Scream was big back then. Scream was like huge back then at that point in time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and my other part I won't spoil because it was the Star Wars parts. Like Rosko, I think me and Rosko are thinking the same. The other part was when he's typing away on the freaking computer and all the kids are looking at him. You're gonna eat our shit and I'm gonna shit on you and then you're gonna spit out your shit and eat your shit. Love Jay and Silent Bob. When he did that, oh dude, I was freaking rolling. So that part right there, just like Rosko, I think we think alike, was one of my favorite ones too. Let's go with Tylox. What did you think of your favorite scenes?
Well, I will go ahead and get this one out of the way. The epic, we're going to shit out our shit and then make you eat our shit, and then you're going to shit out that shit. And, like, dude, it was one of the most epic rant. Like, we were rolling laughing in the theater, uncontrolled. Like, if an usher had been like, hey, you got to get out here. Kick us out then, dude. There's no way we're not fucking dying laughing in this part. Like, it was one of the most epic rants about like talking about people's mom and them eating shit. It was just so great. Of course, one of my favorite scenes is when they get out of that damn van in those cat suits.
Oof.
Oh,
that was okay. You're talking about the second scene.
Yes, like
the second scene, like it's not the one where they're at movies. It's like, oh, my friends are right here. No, the second scene. I agree with you. That was one of my favorites.
Oh
like,
my God. I'll go ahead and say it now. The blonde chick on the end, the tomboy chick who wanted to cut everybody and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like what he said about being the clique commander, chick hit me up. Like I'll rock your world. You have no idea. But like no, that scene, and then the scene with Mark Hamill, where he's like, "How'd you get the name Cockknocker anyway?" And he's just like, "It's an interesting story." Bam! And then just hits him, and then he's just like, "Avenge me!" and just falls over. Like, so beautiful. Chris Rock. George Lucas is gonna sue somebody. Like, oh my God, those three scenes made the whole. Oh my God, the clique commander rant. Oh my God, can I get your thoughts on the clitoris?
I am the clique commander.
Oh my God, you take it and squeeze it like this, and rub my nose on it. Like,
you rub your nose on it.
Oh my God, like such great teenage humor. I just can't get past it. Oh my God,
ridiculous. I love it.
Oh, Travis.
All right. So that scene where they jump out of the van, of course, that was definitely a one, but you got to go a little bit further than that, where they're actually inside there. They're like doing the whole spy shit. They're looking all sexy and fine. They look like they know what they're doing. And man, do they ever go through those lasers pretty freaking sick. And I love it. It's like, at least I always say that girl from Buffy, at the end, she's just like, and then you get Justice coming after her. She's like,
yeah, making fun.
And then you get the third one coming in, and she just is like off the wall. She's like, I'm like,
that's
the fuck, and then she's just like,
yeah.
Like,
only
Stevie Stoner was right. It's like, oh man, that was great. I love that scene. Another scene was the whole. It's just like sometimes I just feel like we're in a fucking movie or like in a fucking cartoon, and then they come across the mystery machine, and they're going in there, and they're in the back. Surprised this one hasn't been mentioned. That was just, it's like you get it, like they're stoners. It's like, now we'll finally find out who the hitchhiking ghouls are. It's like, I don't think those are ghouls. I think they're the people. It's like it's just like it's like, oh, I don't think they're hitchhiking girls. They're ghouls, you stupid slut, or something like that. I forget what she says. It's like, holy crap, man.
I think a better question is, why are we taking orders from a guy in a neckerchief? Like,
yeah. and then I'd have to say, like, you mentioned Chris Rock, man. He was probably my favorite in this movie, and it was just that whole scene that he did at the end there where Jamie Kennedy and stuff, and just like I'm not even gonna repeat half the shit he said because like I will get canceled.
Oh, yeah.
No
doubt. This is his first movie. Let's get ever cut out.
But like, man, it was just so freaking funny. The whole scene, like I kept replaying it. Like he was just like, "Is there any bookers in this?" It's like, yeah. It's like, you went to film school, didn't you? Like, I'm pretty sure. Does your daddy know that you're doing this for? Yeah, I can't like. And Jamie Kennedy the whole time is like, I assure you, like, see, booker free. Get that out of here. And he's like, and then he's just sitting there, and he's like, get him on set. And then all of a sudden, somebody's behind him. He's like, cracker, cracker, cracker. I'm like, holy crap, man, this is hilarious. Chris Rock just ruined it for me. But another, I just want to shut up Ben Affleck again. Like that whole scene with him there, but I like how he poked fun at him. Like they both did in that whole scene. It's like, or you do a thing for a friend, and they both break the fourth wall and like look at the screen, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. But like how they're poking fun at himself as well in that, because like the whole scene where he's just like, what it was like 1080 is like picking up a dead hooker for Ben Affleck. Oh, yeah. And like the whole scene is just like, it's like I'm sorry guys, but we have a 1080. It's just like, Ben again? No, I did not order a hooker today.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's so great. Oh man, yeah. All right, I'm done.
Man, you guys touched on my a couple of my favorite scenes, but the with the guy from the Drew Carey show, the security guard, and you know he picks him up. It's like, what was it? I'll suck his dick and you can watch it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
while you jerk off, he's like, okay,
yeah, all right.
I'm not gay. I'm not gay. You're gay. You're the one sucking his dick.
And then right after it's like, you know, just him like the in between like the back and forth between Jay and Silent Bob and him, you know, like just makes that scene even better right afterwards. As well, like the Chris Rock was, again, we can't really say or quote Mr. Rock, but he has some fantastic lines.
That's so good.
Or else, my short-lived YouTube career is over. And along with all
first and last live,
the last live show ever, if I quote Chris Rock.
Well, it ended where it started. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
But I mean, you guys touched on all my favorites, but I gotta say the very end of the movie, and we could talk about it more in detail with all the cameos and everything like that from previous people in the ViewAskewniverse there, when they're all watching the premiere of the movie, and you get everyone coming out of the theater, and just all the people there are just amazing, especially, I mean, Hooper X is his line there is great. So that's I would have to say. You know, I think what was it? Comic Journey said my favorite scene was the end credits. Mine is right before the end credits.
One we didn't mention was I had kind of talked about it earlier, but when Stifler, Sean Scott, what's his name?
William Scott.
Sean William Scott.
take care, John. Yo, I love when they're like, "Oh my God, this guy's a sheep fucker. Let's get him out."
Oh my God. He's not one of us.
Yo, that's
It's like if you were like if you were a sheep, would you fuck it?
There was an extended scene where he gets up and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm not like never fuck a sheep, and then it goes and it shows a sheep and then it's just like, well, okay, and then he just walks towards it like that's a deep cut scene from the movie.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. It was like he's like, "Yo, this guy's a sheep fucker. He's not one of us. Yo, let's get him out of here." Yo, when Jay wigs out about that, dude, I lost my shit because he was just like, "Oh yeah, really?" He's like talking to him, and then he goes, "Yo." When he gets all like just how excited he gets, like, oh, dude, like how you were saying though, neighbor, his acting definitely stepped up tremendously.
That's another character too. Like you got Sean William Scott, you got Jason Biggs, you got Shannon
Doherty.
No, not Doherty. Shannon Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth, all from American Pie.
Yeah.
You got Dawson's Creek.
You got Dawson himself, man. Like,
did you bang her? No. Did you get a second base? No. But
man.
I think Travis, if you want, can you? I don't know if anybody else in the chat's never seen this. We can tell them how from that part where it went through, because they met and he actually started liking her, and that's when he wanted that she introduced that they were going to free animals, which was not the case. They were doing that as a cover up to steal the diamonds. So if you want to just lay it out, because I think your voice is the best one out of all of us that can tell us more of the movie. So people who are watching it, what's up, BFit? If they
all listen to Travis,
we're gonna send it to Travis. So give us a little intro through that whole part, because I think we're jumping back and forth and we're missing the middle part. So
yeah.
Oh well, of course, when they go through like the whole plot of the movie is like initially them trying to go to Hollywood to stop this movie from being made, but in the process they get introduced to these girls at movies and that, and Jay falls madly in love with her, and then they talk about saving the animals. That's where they get introduced to the thing, but they're messing them up to do a jewel heist, and that's where we get the sexy women. And also Kevin Smith's wife was also in that scene. Plus, definitely try to watch the deep cuts, because you get that blonde chick and Kevin Smith's wife like in bras and their underwear in bed making out. So you do get that scene as well. So you definitely want that. But that's how that got merged into the movie. You got those whole backstory plots, especially with like joining those girls into the story and like the bank heist and like the clit. That's why they got them to film the movie. The clit said like, we are the clit. We were like an organization. They think they're bank heists. They're jewel thieves. But really what they think they're doing is like try to save monkeys.
Yeah.
Smart, intelligent monkeys. But all monkeys. Oh, wait. Sorry, Will Ferrell. Chimps. Apes. But yeah.
I corrected and went backwards.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, chimps. I'm sorry, apes. Primal animals. Primates.
But yeah, that's the whole like process of the movie, how they got introduced and why they're there. Because Jay is a horny motherfucker.
Oh my god!
And then you have Will Ferrell who's chasing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, who has no business. He's like part of the wildlife. He's like, all right, guys, I got this.
Yeah, remember when they're trying to run from Will Ferrell and he's shooting at him, and they're trying to go down into the sewer, and and Silent Bob gets stuck. And he says he's like, you're Winnie the Pooh or something.
Yeah.
Suck it in, fat ass. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. And you're missing him. His legs are like sticking out, and they're still like shooting at him. I was like, oh jeez.
Oh man,
we forgot about the
thing that they took
the diner scene, man. The diner scene was hilarious. He's talking about one of those new age couples, right? with their child.
He's all the way gay. I just
It's like,
pretend to
oh,
be gay.
jeez. It's like I don't need I don't need them getting back to corporate and that. All we need is like we're bigotry towards gay couples. Like we don't need that. It's just like they just walk away. It's like, all right, we'll get the tear gas in there. Like, oh my god, that was them, wasn't it?
Oh,
Like,
too many scenes. Too many scenes.
man, this movie was just all around great. It's like movie scene. Like I'm even gonna jump right to the end, like even further back to the end where there's just like they're talking just like, what are you gonna do? Just you do have a list of people. You could find their address and just go to their house. Are you a Magnolia fan? Did you quote this and that? And it's just like, yeah.
And it's everything from, like,
And their
to,
kids
like,
too,
little old
like-
ladies to like. I mean,
Oh
just,
man, they go and like there's like a reverend, and then there's this guy sitting at his desk and that, and they're just like, yeah, they're just like, and they're
Uh-huh.
like waiting for him to finish.
Yeah, he's like, they don't like a call or something like that. Oh my god, so good.
It's a great movie.
So
This
what
movie-
was, what,
Give it a Rosko. Give it a Rosko and do the Star Wars scene.
Yeah,
Let's talk
let's
about
do
that.
it. Let's get into it. Star Wars, man.
Oh man, I mean, first off, Mark Hamill is the villain, you know. But then you have Jay and then you have Blunt Man and Chronic actually come to like life, which is really, I think, one of the coolest. I think that's like I didn't want to talk about it too much earlier because you said we were going to talk, but when they are in their costumes, I lost my shit, man. I was like, yo, this is nutso. Like, that is so cool. And then they have they have lightsabers. Yo, I was like, yo, are they allowed to do this? Yo, like,
yeah,
and then Chris Rock says, yo, George Lucas is gonna sue the shit out of everyone. Yo, oh my gosh. But yeah, epic battle. Between Blunt Man and Chronic versus the Cock Knocker, as Tylox was saying earlier. With
Oh my god,
how do they call you the Cock Knocker? Oh well, come here, let me wham and just oh gosh, but
Oh, his limp lightsaber too that he has to fucking
yeah,
he has to shake to get it up.
yes. Oh god, oh man.
when what's his name?
They cut off his hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when Jay goes off on him, and he's like you know doing his tricks with his double lightsaber like Darth Maul, and then he gets done and he takes hit and he like turns it off and then hits it like it's a bong, and he was like, "You're not gonna upstage me, Vanderbeek," and they're like,
dude, when he hits that like a bong though, yo, I was like.
We are missing the point though at the beginning though when it's just like protect me fat ass, and then he like Silent Bob has the freaking force, man, because he was just like and then it went his hand and like even Mark was like whoa, and then like they're sitting back there like whoa, what the like.
And that's going right back to Mallrats too, right?
Yep.
You know, where he's like you know, talking about like you actually believe in that shit, like and he pulled it off.
well, there's in the Kevin was it, and even Kevin Smith, he says in that film that the part that I was talking about with Jason Mewes wasn't even a thing yet. Jason was like, after I get done doing my thing, what if I turn the lightsaber off and hit it like it's a bong? And he's like, that's genius! Oh my god, why didn't I think of that? And he was like, wow. Like Mewes is on it in this movie. This like movie was like Jason Mewes' baby. Like he loved it. Like he had a ton of input in it, and it made the scene. Like it was like that little extra just pushes you right over the edge.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. I like cuts his hand off and he's like, not again. Like oh, got you, Mark Hamill, twice. 2 movies now. You lose a hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love that transition though, like where Silent Bob gets knocked down and then it like comes back down over and then shows Jay coming over. He's just like, you could call me Darth Balls.
Yeah.
Bong.
Yeah.
Oh
And that's where another part I like is when it goes to Chris Rock and he says, "Man, this is gonna make House Party 1 look like House Party 2."
Oh my god!
His assistant, "Well, House Party 2." He's all, "Shut up, cracker." Though, but that scene, I enjoyed the beginning from the transition from Jason Biggs when they break into their room and the monkey, Chimp beats them up and they get the outfits and they're talking about how we're both naked. It's gonna be a minute. Oh, dude, that was hilarious too. But like the whole movie was funny. Well, you gonna say something, Tia?
You bring it back to that security guard. Like, yes. There was that scene where, like, with Wes Craven and Shannon Doherty, I forget what it was. What did he say? He stops for a second, then looks at her and says, what was that name? It was from Mallrats, where Ethan Suplee's character looks at her and says something, and then she says, "Jerk." Do you remember that scene? Like, it happened in this movie too, or maybe that's the deep cuts.
Oh, wait, I don't know. He went through the wall. Didn't they do that again in this movie where he gets like?
No. That's not the scene that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the scene with Shannon Doherty. That's not with Shannon Doherty.
But then you said Brenda from like 90210.
Yeah.
He called her Brenda.
Brenda, yeah.
Yeah. He's all,
the security guard, the security guard stops, and he's like, "Brenda?" And then she's like, "Jerk." So that came from Mar. I don't know if that's in the deep cut or not. I have that one fresh in my mind. So.
Yeah.
The part where they're getting the costumes from him. And he was like, "Dude, it's the guy who fucked the pie." And he was like, "Everybody with the pie, like that, is that all people are gonna remember you for?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's all people are ever gonna remember you for, dude. Sorry, you should have told them no on that scene because that you're the pie fucker." Like,
forever.
It was the scene where Shannon Doherty was playing in Scream. So you had the phone call on that, and she's just like answers the phone, and then you see Ghostface behind her. Then they go cut, and then you have Jason Mewes running through and stuff. They're walking, and then security guard, and then the security guard runs out, but he comes back. He's like, "Brenda?" Just like, jerk. That was Shannon Doherty from Mallrats. So I like that little connection as well. I love all the connections, but all in all, it was just an overall great movie. Definitely early 2000s movie. Definitely worth the watch. Yeah. Like, who like, what would you guys rate this movie?
Out of what?
Man.
Let's go 5.
Like, out of 5? Yeah, okay.
Like, he literally tied in every single old movie he made with the new characters, and like, it was a thing where even though the movie was hyped up as far as people were excited to go see it, the movie completely surpassed everybody's hype that I know of. Like, everybody was talking about it. Everybody thought it was the greatest thing ever. Like, it was incredible. Like, I loved it.
So, out of how many fucks would you give it? Out of
as many fucks as I can give.
So 5 fucks. Okay.
Yes, 5 fucks.
How many fucks do you give it, Tylux? Or neighbor?
I'm gonna give it. Okay, so like the first time I thought it was. First time I watched it, I probably would have given it like a 3. But now, you know, like the more I watch it, the more times I watch it, especially this time, just since we've been deep diving into all the movies and stuff like that, like I give this at least like 4.5 hitchhiking blowjobs out of 5.
Hell no.
That's a lot of blowjobs.
Like yeah. Just all the rain, man, all the rain.
Yes.
Yeah, I get
like coming.
Yeah. Travis, you're really good at that.
He definitely gives 5.
You said you went to Alberta. How'd you get there?
He just
showed. We'll talk about that.
A demonstration. It's a quick demonstration.
If you left at the wrong time.
Yeah. For the 3 people watching right now, there we go.
Rosko, what would you rate it?
What would I rate it? I would give it sloppy good 4.5. Yeah, man.
Oh,
I would give it a good 4.5, man. I love this movie ever since a kid. And then I love the fact that when I got introduced to, I forget what movie was next. I think it was like Mallrats, maybe. I was like, oh, man, I know those characters. I watched Jay and Silent Bob. So, like, this movie was, like, always one of my favorites as a kid. Always loved watching it. Definitely got in trouble by saying the swear word, like 4.5 all day long, man. This was like the very first Kevin Smith movie, and I'll continue to watch it and continue to get things from this movie. Show and tells later.
So, well, I'll give it a 4.5 cup fills. So I would fill up 4.5 cups. Like I said at the beginning, freaking hilarious from beginning to the very end. Had great music, had everything I wanted. I had Star Wars in there, had every movie in there that I watched from Kevin Smith. So I watched this over and over. Comic Journey, you're killing me right here with your comments.
Oh my God, I just yeah.
Shout out to you. I know you really like it, but it's so hilarious.
Tell us how you really feel, CJ.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what he said, but but it's hilarious from beginning to end. I'm gonna keep it as that. I'll keep on watching it. Kevin Smith totally made me a super fan with this movie after he gave me tips of everything else. Rosko, what did you give it?
You know, it's hard to give anything like a 5 out of 5. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I'm gonna give it a 4.75. You know, I absolutely love this film. It definitely, like I said, it introduced me to Will Ferrell, who Will Ferrell is one of my favorites. So, I mean, I always will have that. And so I know Neighbor is over there flaring his nostrils, but no, I absolutely, this movie is phenomenal from start to finish. I mean, it's great. Especially like, you know, if you're a stoner, I mean, it's like, you know, this is definitely a movie you have to watch. I think it's a definite stoner film, but overall the cameos and just the knockbacks of just nerd nostalgic stuff, like having a comic book shop, there's Star Wars related stuff. You know what I mean? There's just so many things in there that are just amazing. And again, it's something that it's funny because I want other people, younger, you know, audience to really watch it, because it's like, this is the internet. That was the internet, like just becoming a thing, like, you know, where it's not like, you know, they didn't have an iPhone, you know, or anything like crazy like that, you know. So, excuse me. But overall, yeah, 4.75. I love it. It's like it's hands down one of my. It probably is my favorite Kevin Smith movie.
Mr. Rosko, since you haven't been on our panel before, are you a fan of other Kevin Smith movies?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or are you?
I'm a fan of Kevin Smith.
This? Is this your?
This is my. This is
your top tier.
Yeah, this is my favorite Kevin Smith movie. But I mean, you said Dogma. Dogma's one of my. That's up there too. Dogma's a great film. I don't think that gets talked about enough. But I love Kevin Smith though. I actually met him in Philly at Wizard World in 2003. Real quick, but he was such a nice human being. So like when you meet someone and you like, if they're nice, you know, you get a whole different respect. And the thing is that you know, I started actually like reading some of the comic books like he did, like Green Arrow and stuff. So you know, kind of got me into the whole Kevin Smith. But yeah, Kevin Smith movie, I haven't seen them all. Like, you know, I haven't seen like you guys just talked about what, Jersey Girl? Mm-hmm. That's a movie I have not seen. And I'm from New Jersey.
I really think you should watch it. Like that was my first time watching it, and like I always put it aside because like everybody's like, "Oh no, it's his worst movie." Even Kevin himself says it, and I was just like, "We should have actually done it like next week, their next show." But oh well, it's done and over with. It's actually really good. It's a really good show. George Carlin like steals the show for me. the movie. Ben Affleck was good, and then that little girl actress, she was fantastic. I would say she was be like the best actress, but ever since I watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new little Leia is like probably my favorite little actress right now. Like that is, she's just killing it, man. Like I've never, like I'm like convinced that she's a midget.
And he's canceled.
Yep, and there we go. There was it. Didn't say the Chris Rock stuff, but we're going to talk about little people. They're getting us canceled.
Little person.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check out
there.
Why?
Yeah, but I'm going to have to check out Jersey Girl and some other movies. But I mean, like, I've seen Clerks and Clerks 2. A lot of these other Chasing Amy. So I mean, but yeah, I do like Kevin Smith, and like I said, when I met him, I got a much more respect for him, just of like how great of a human being he was. So, but again, I appreciate you guys having me. This is dope. This is just fun talking about a movie that you love, So I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Do we get it? Can we even talk about our favorite characters? Because this really doesn't. You have all the characters, right? We normally go. Who's our favorite character?
We could talk about the characters that like were new to this film. Like, of course, we had Carrie Fisher that showed up. We had Judd Nelson that showed up. Will Ferrell's character, he was brand new. Then we got first time Jason Biggs and James Vanderbeek have been in the movie. Like, we did have a lot of cameos, a lot of huge cameos at the time as well. Like, the Easter Bunny was not in it, but that would have been cool to anime.
You know how you kept grouping different people that were in the movie. But which one? How we were saying, like Jason Briggs, Pie Fucker himself, American Pie, but Stifler and Homegirl. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's funny that they had like these little groups from all these different movies, So, but that was cool. Monkey's game. It's an ape.
But I say we should just throw in some people like Neighbor to the North. Was there anything that popped out that you really didn't cover that you enjoyed? One of the actors or actresses?
Man. Like I said, I liked all the end, like the post coming out of the theater. I think that, like I said, that's my favorite part of the movie. What do we got here?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Danime, I don't know how to highlight comments.
Damn!
Man.
I was hoping
I really want
you could highlight one comment.
That's
the one I want you to highlight.
Wow,
dude! Like, she was great in this movie, but like, Eliza Duku is her name? Like that's the other one from like Buffy, man. Like I have always like. Even as a kid watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and seeing her in it, like I was like, oh man, she should be the Slayer, man. She's so much better looking. Like, I'm sorry, Sarah Michelle.
There's a few potential wasted children out in the world from.
Oh man.
There's nothing wrong with firing off some knuckle children every once in a while.
Oh, here we go.
Travis, I mean, do you want
to?
Like, it. Fleshlights are the way to go.
I was waiting for it.
Man, I swear, this may be your last live neighbor.
There's a new record, man. Like, this is my very first live. Goodbye.
All the stuff that Travis has said and done in the last 15 minutes, I feel bad for all the people that's left from him doing this.
Listen, you guys knew what you guys like. If you guys sat through the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back movie, you guys knew what you guys were getting into.
Yeah.
Like,
if Kevin Smith only sees one of these episodes, I really hope it's this one where he's like, what have I done? What have I done? Look at what I've done to the world. Like,
Well, I am in a Discord server with like a bunch of other Kevin Smith fans. Like I can get it to them. Just share it.
All right. Well, I mean, do you want to get into show and tell now that we're talking about show and tell?
No. I'm not gonna show that.
You are killing me.
Yeah. Are we sure we want TM to do show and tell? Are we sure?
No.
I don't know.
Good night, everybody.
I could show you the box, but I don't think I want to show it on like live.
No.
So did anybody?
Nobody wants to see that.
How old's the movie?
What did you watch?
Do all you guys rent it or do you guys own it? Because I have a digital copy and I couldn't find my Blu-ray and my DVD.
I was gonna say, I thought I had this on like Blu-ray or DVD, and I went and looked through my movies to watch it, and I had to rent it because I don't have it, and I could have sworn I had this movie. Like I might just have to like order it off Amazon or something because this has to be in my collection. It really does.
Since we're talking about it, I'll start off with show and tell. Since I do have the Blu-ray, and it's signed by Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. But this was not the thing that I like originally went on to buy. I saw this, and it was grouped up, and like I get a discount on the site because I'm part of that Kevin Smith club. If you guys are not part of that Kevin Smith club, you want to get exclusive content from that Kevin Smith, old and new. Also, look at like some of the Smithsonian videos that he has, deep cuts, like the deep cut I watched in this video. Definitely check out that KevinSmithClub.com, the sponsor of this video. Moving on, I got this, and this is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, signed by Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. This is the script for the movie. So, like, as you guys were like talking, I was reading. That's why I was so like fresh on my mind. I'd be like, "Oh, you guys are talking about that scene." So I'm gonna like say words that come from it and like say it through there. So here I am reading the script as we're doing this video. But yeah,
how much would something like that cost a fan with membership and all? Like, what are we talking about?
Well, we also have to like it'll be a little cheaper for those guys in the United States because shipping cost is a lot. But like all in all, it ran me about $100 for both.
For both? Oh wow!
Oh, that's not bad.
So and it's signed, and what it is like it's not from Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. It's from a different site, and it's based out of where Kevin's at. And like I watched a video recently where he's actually goes into the warehouse, and it's just literally a warehouse where two guys are working, and they're like fulfilling it. And he goes in there, and you see him sign a bunch of stuff, and then
Oh, cool.
that's where this came from. But this is literally the script. I'm super pumped to have it because like I said, this is the very first Kevin Smith movie I watched, so it's the pathway on my love for Kevin Smith, because if I didn't watch this movie, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you guys about it. So that is my show and tell.
Nice.
I have nothing, so you can just skip
I was about to say, like, well, for the people who didn't show up earlier, I'll show mine one more time, just because the motherfucking time ice cream castles. I mean, and the whole, and it's really funny because I was like, oh, it's got Jungle Love on it, so I'm just gonna listen, But I listened to the whole thing, of course, because it's a record. You kind of have to. But it's really, really, really. You can tell like Prince had to have wrote this because it's phenomenal. The whole thing from start to finish, so good. Like you can tell that Prince grew up in that '70s funk, it's all over this record, and you could tell it really had an influence on him as a person, and as a musician. Because it is so good. I would 100%, if you ever see this, as far as like buying records, if you're at a record store and you ever see this, snatch this up. You will not regret getting Ice Cream Castles. I mean, look at the name, Ice Cream Castles. It's just everything's great about it.
And I don't have anything to show. I couldn't find them. But shout out to Phil and DX for jumping in. We appreciate you.
I just really want to. I really wish I could figure out how to highlight comments on here.
Oh,
Because
God,
DX's comments are great.
Yes.
They're hilarious.
All right, I do have something to show off, but it's from my phone. I wanted to show this off. And if no one knows, I'm somewhat of an artist, and someone commissioned me to do a Blunt Man and Chronic cover. So I was like, man, I don't even know what to use. So I used the Doctor Strange cover, and I made it my own thing. And it says Strange Trips of Blunt Man and Chronic. And I did the hip hop variant for Stankonia.
That's badass.
Dude.
I put the parental thing, but it says Snoochie Boochies, and then it says Rosko. But someone commissioned me. I wish you could see a little bit better.
Dude,
it's good, dude. That's badass.
Of that
So sick.
Yeah, it's funny you said, but look, see, I took this Doctor Strange, and I kept the Strange, and then put Strange Trips of Blunt Man and Chronic. But yeah, this is like I said, this was a commission piece that someone hired me to do, and I am actually, you know what, Dialux, I am going to make actually prints into this. I looked into it, but
oh my God, dude, I will pay you. Like, please do
I
it.
love
Like,
that one.
I have to have that.
yeah. So that was my show and tell. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, if you
I
make
was going to show pictures.
Roscoe. I'll order
definitely.
one.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. All right. Well, all right then. Maybe I'll get these done a little sooner then. No. I was going to show pictures from the secret stash, but they wouldn't come up as well on my phone here.
Yeah.
But I do want to show one more thing real quick, and that's here's me and the employees only door with they had the cartoon version of Jay and Silent Bob on the door, employees only. There's some weirdo guy in the picture though. Look how short that beard is. What the heck?
Who is that guy?
Yeah.
Who is that morose looking motherfucker?
But Secret Stash, man, it was a really cool, really cool thing. So, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
I'm sorry. Let me show this too. Jim Lee. I don't know if anyone watched Comic Book Men, but Jim Lee did a Jay and Silent Bob with Batman and Superman. If no one's ever seen it, you got to go check it out. But I tried to take a picture of it. It does no justice. But Jim Lee doing a freaking dope picture of them in their shop. So, but anyway, yeah. Thanks again. I appreciate you having me, neighbor, and Travis and Tylox and JD. Appreciate all you guys. And the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all being here.
I mean, if anybody wants to, watch this again, don't watch it for us. Watch it for the chat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The chat is ridiculous.
DX is killing me, man.
Yeah, I know. I have the script from W.
I mean, I really hope this is great. This is my first live stream. I hope what Travis said doesn't make this my last.
He went PG-13. He could have went rated R.
Oh, man, we were rated like at the beginning of this. We were like, you know what, like no fucks given. Fuck.
Dude, when you're talking about this movie, I mean, what do you expect when you came into this? Like,
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show,
oh me,
my jungle love.
Should we just end this on some dance here?
Oh my God.
We can. Before we leave, who are we gonna? It's TM's next or Tylox? No, we did
Well,
Tylox.
it depends. I mean, do we have a new? Are you just joining us for this one time, Mr. Rosko, or do you want to come back?
I was about to say, you want to come in? You
Join
want to come in the
us.
back door?
Wait, huh? Wait a minute. I don't know anymore. At first, I was like, yeah.
Way to go, Travis.
Yeah. Let me think about it.
We put him on the spot.
No, this is fun. I had a blast. Yeah, what's the next movie?
What is the
What
next?
is the next movie?
Clerks
Oh,
2?
Clerks 2?
Clerks
Oh,
2?
okay.
Oh my God, there's so
Donkey
much
Show
that
and all,
movie that
huh?
could get us canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donkey
Oh,
Show
man.
is definitely going to get us canceled.
Yeah,
So-
that one.
Yeah, you want to do it? You want to do it on your channel, Roscoe? You can. It can be your initiation into the Fanboys Club.
Oh, well then, heck yeah, let's do it, man.
All right.
All right.
So, in what,
There
2
it
weeks?
Yes.
2 weeks?
So
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks, same time. We're going to
channel.
talk about some interesting stuff on Clerks 2 because
Oh, great.
Damn.
Great. It's on my channel. Travis, you're not invited. No, I'm just kidding.
no reenactments of scenes. In that movie.
I will go ahead and apologize ahead of time because I the same way I thought about the blonde in this movie, I think about Rosario Dawson. So this is.
Oh,
gonna
dude,
be
don't even get me started on Rosario Dawson, man.
Oh, no.
Like, I know exactly what I'm doing after the stream, thinking of Rosario Dawson.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. I don't know if I want it. Maybe, I'll still think about it.
I don't want to.
No, you already agreed. You're in now, man. It's happening. Oh,
I
my
think on
God.
that point,
All
I think we're out. 2
All right,
weeks.
So in 2 weeks, we'll be over on Roscoe's channel. But Roscoe, what do you have upcoming? I'm pretty sure you have something upcoming, and yeah.
Yes. Actually, you ready for this? Tomorrow I do Cover Slingers all the time. I'm on Cover Slingers 2 o'clock, Gray Man's channel, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I have Spine Ticks every Saturday night. And then Monday, I'm actually going to be on Instagram doing a auction. I'm going to be auctioning off some artwork and some comic books. Helping a buddy of mine out and stuff like that. So look out for my Instagram, which is also Geek Out with Roscoe. And then Tuesday, me and Travis will be doing Roscoe's Late Night Addiction. I got 2 packages in the mail. I'm ready to open up. I'm pumped. I can't wait. And I think Travis may have something too. So, but yeah, check me out. Usually I do it 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday nights. I know it's a late one, but hey, you could always catch the rewind. It's always a good time. We're just talking, having fun over there. Talking about new books that come out and TV shows. So we'll be talking about a bunch of that stuff. But yeah, check me out, Geek Out with Roscoe. I just hit 300 subs. What? Look out! So that's about all. Oh, I do have and if you also, I just did 10 questions with Small Town Collectibles, Jimmy the Don, and that was so much fun. He's a great guy, but that was I had no idea going into that interview what he was going to ask me. So, but if you have time, if you want to check that out, Small Town Collectibles, Jimmy the Don interviewed me. And there's some pretty like serious questions in there, which I was like, I did not expect, but it was a lot of fun. Great. You get to know me a lot more. And, but yeah, and I also I am going to be doing a check your shorts. I was going to have it done this week, but I haven't had time and stuff has been going on, of course. But next week I'm going to have a check your shorts. So that's going to be a good one.
Nice.
JD, you got anything coming up?
No, I'm clear because I have a couple of weddings, surprise parties. So I'm on hiatus until maybe the end of June into July. So I'm going to have something coming in there. But you can check out my pictures that I have on my Instagram under Raging Cajun Comics. But usually Sunday, comic and collectible treasures, usually at noon Pacific Standard Time. But next time we'll be on Roscoe's channel in 2 weeks. So I can't wait.
Awesome.
Hi, Lux.
Okay, so of course, tomorrow's Saturday, and everybody knows what Saturday is for.
Bingo.
Yeah, Spine Ticks.
Hi,
So
dude.
I'll be there on Saturday. Also, today I just interviewed John Jarvis from Scour and Pig Destroyer and Agoraphobic Nosebleed. He showed off his vinyl collection. So much good stuff, which is the best part for me was the fact of how much non-metal he showed that he enjoys in his collection. It's phenomenal, like how much like of he has a big range of music that he loves. Is really good. And let's see, what else do I got coming up? Is it not next Tuesday, but the next Tuesday there's the bench warmers that we've been doing on Cardboard Crazy's channel. So check that out. We'll be showing off cards, ripping packs, all that good stuff.
Is it this? It's not this Tuesday coming up. It's the following, right?
It's the next Tuesday.
I'll be back for that.
I'll have a haul video coming out. Should be next weekend, some point in time. There'll be more tunes and collections coming out. Heroes Con is coming up at the end of this month. I'm definitely going to have footage and pictures.
Yeah, we're not going to get into everything you're doing this month, man. You got 2 weeks to talk about those shows.
Keep telling us, Tyler. Don't listen to him.
It's like, and in 2 months, I got
Next
this
year,
coming out. Like,
You got the hunt on Friday, don't you?
I have the
like a
hunt on
month.
Friday.
You're going a month too far, man.
I'll be defending my World Tag Team Championship. And I think that's it coming up in the next week or two. I think that's it.
I'm going to buy a parakeet.
exactly.
Next year, I'm going to buy a puppy.
And this is what I'm doing for Christmas. And
I had to get my AC fixed on Thursday.
I'm getting an oil change
I
on
really,
Tuesday.
really do. I really do. So yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Shut up.
On
I'm gonna cut
Sunday,
you off. TM, what do you got next?
I don't even know. I'm done.
Whatever Travis has got going, I'm doing that too. Whatever Tylox has got going on, Travis is
the same thing Tylox doing. I had an interview with a musician today.
One thing I do want to say before Neighbor to the North. August, I hit 1 year on YouTube. So I'm going to throw a little thing in August so we can all hang out and throw some invites to other people. So hopefully if you're still here in the chat or if you watch the replay, thank you for following me and just having me geek out with all my friends here. I'm having a blast and I'm loving this too. So TM, Tylox, Blosk, Neighbor, thank you guys. I found some brothers, which I'm loving every moment of it. So that's all I wanted to say. But Neighbor to the North, what you got coming?
You know what? I don't know.
Aren't you going to be on with?
Most likely, I'll be on
Longer?
tomorrow. At 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Chillmonger's channel. I'll most likely be on that panel. I might have to miss it, not sure yet, but I think it's going to be heavy on the Miss Marvel show. So, I really enjoyed that. So, I mean, if you've ever seen Chill's channel, it's 33 burning questions on Saturday, and I'm sure we'll get some pretty interesting ones, especially with.
I just gotta say, I love his new intro.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. and the voice, the voices in the back, they does live over that is pretty funny. But I always have a blast being on his show. There's always some interesting people, some different people who I don't get a chance to interact with much because they're on Twitter or other medias. So it's cool to hang out with those guys. But that's about it. And thanks everyone for coming. All you guys on the panel. Thank you, Rosko, for joining us. That's amazing. And thanks, chat, and to the 4 people watching us right now. You've made it to the end, and go enjoy your Friday night. Bye, everybody. See you in 2 weeks.
Snoochie boochies.
Snoochie boochies.
Also, for Thanksgiving, I'm going to have turkey and
Perfect.